Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina and Tokyo the cat right down there on the floor. Now, if Tokyo gets into the computer, jumps up on the table, knocks the cameras over, guess what? Tokyo's going in the bedroom and we're going to close the door. But we hope everybody is doing well out there in K1 Visa land. And we were waiting for the U.S. Embassy to accept the Interpol certificate, which I uploaded to them, a week ago. Karina had her K1 visa interview November 16th, 2023. She got approved, no problem. And they just asked for an Interpol police certificate, which Karina, she went over to the Interpol in downtown Bogotá. And they said, just send us an email with a copy of your scheduler and your passport, biographic page, which she did. It took about 3 weeks, and then we got the Interpol letter. Last week, I uploaded it. Well, I didn't upload it. I emailed it to Bogotá, the embassy in Bogotá, and then yesterday, celebration dinner on all those gracious super chats. We ate at this fantastic steak restaurant in northern Bogotá. And I can't remember the name of it. Shame on me. San Costillo, I think it was. Santa Costilla. We were eating there, and as we were celebrating, I was having this big barbecue dinner. Karina had the steak dinner. The embassy notified me that they accepted the Interpol police certificate, and now they're just going to put her visa in her passport. So we're not counting days, but we're pretty much on the downslide now to leave in Colombia. So we made a video, our last Christmas dinner. Karina made Christmas dinner with her family, and we made a little video about it. Bud Garcia, hello, Diego and Karina from Washington State. Nice to see you, Bud. Miguel, buenas noches, Diego y Karina. Buenas noches, Miguel. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Tu día bien? ¿Tu relaja? No estreso? Sí? Bud, how long does it take to get a response from the MVC? 2 to 3 months. 2 months. Sharon, Denise Persikian, right off the bat, super chat. Thank you, Denise. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys doing with the super chat. Yesterday, I took Karina to eat at this restaurant, Santo Costillo. It's like Castilla. It's like this #1 steakhouse in Bogotá. Well, I didn't know if it was or not. So we went to eat there, and apparently it is. It was fantastic. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to your super chats. I could take Karina out to eat to the best restaurant in Bogotá for steaks. Jacob Myers, hello Diego. Jacob, you better get, your visa was approved, right? Your beneficiary, his visa was approved, right? Yes, Diego, it was approved. You were outside in the line in Manila with 1,000 people with the and you were starving to death. And you wouldn't go get a McDonald's because McDonald's is right down the street, but you wouldn't leave the line because you didn't want to miss your beneficiary. But he got approved, right? Miguel, Diego, when asked for a passport document type in DS-160, is it regular or official? It's regular. It's a regular passport. It's not a diplomat. It's not a diplomat passport. It's regular. Fakira, hi Diego and Karina. I'm from India. We love our friends in India. And I am unable to get a slot for an interview at the Mumbai consulate, but you will. They are processing visas every day in Mumbai, I promise you. It says no slots available. Please guide me on this, okay? You check every day, twice a day. Not 3 times, check twice a day, early in the morning, late at night, until you get worn out and sick and tired of checking. But one day, very soon, you're going to check, even though you're sick and tired of checking, and you've had enough of this immigration process. You've had it up to here. You're sick of it up to here. But one day you're going to go in there and boom, there's a slot and you're going to take it. So Fakira, just relax, keep looking, don't give up. And Tokyo the cat is sitting on the table. He's decided to lay on the computer bag. He's going to lay on the computer bag. So if he behaves himself, he gets to stay in the live stream. Kamar 1, hi Diego and Karina, how are you doing today? We're good, Kamar 1. We're doing fantastic. Yesterday, the embassy, well, actually today I found out, but yesterday the embassy had accepted the Interpol police certificate from Karina, and now we're just waiting on the issue status. Now the issue status is go get your passport, pick it up, and then get out of Colombia. And Karina's like, oh yeah, but no olvide gato. Don't forget the cat. We gotta buy a plane ticket for the cat. We gotta buy a plane ticket for the cat. I'm like, don't worry, Karina. The cat's coming with us. Cat is coming with us. Yesterday, Karina was at Avianca Airlines. She went into Avianca Airlines in northern Bogotá. She walks in, she goes, I need a price, 3 plane tickets, one way, plus for a cat. And I'm in there just, okay, and I'm listening. I just kept my mouth shut. Karina's running the show, guys. She's on it. Ooh, she's on it. She's great. Sharon Denise Persikian, hi Diego and Karina. Sharon, thank you for that super chat, Sharon. Sharon, you're keeping us in hamburgers, steak, and pizza, and we appreciate y'all. Jacob Myers, on to the CFO seminar on the 27th, planning your wedding, December 21st. Now, I know why you want to get married on December 21st, Jacob. You want that tax break, right? You want to file married filing jointly in 2024, right? You're a smart man. Unfortunately, I can't do that because we're just going to stay here through December, I think is what's going to happen. Sharon Denise Persikian, Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas, Sharon. Merry Christmas. Now, Sharon, we say Merry Christmas on this channel, okay? And happy Hanukkah. Now, that's what we say on the channel. Now, I don't know if you celebrate Christmas in India. If you do, great. Some countries don't celebrate Christmas, but in America we celebrate Christmas. So you're coming to America. You're going to live in America. So learn the custom. Let me see, Steph. Hi, Diego and Karina. When are you going to file your adjustment of status? In February, first week of February. What's your timeline when you get back to Florida? Okay, we're gonna fly from Bogotá, Colombia to Miami, one way. Listen up, guys. Always buy a one-way ticket. Lots of people send me messages. Diego, do I have to buy a round-trip ticket? I'm in Peru. Why would you buy a round-trip ticket? You're flying one way on a K1 to America, so it's a one-way plane ticket. Then we're going to either drive or fly to Pensacola. I haven't figured it out yet. And we'll get married in January. We still haven't quite figured. It's going to be on a Saturday, so it's one of those Saturdays in January. We're going to get married, and then in February I'm going to process the adjustment of status. Jacob, Diego, so we are going to do an online marriage ceremony. Then going to have pictures and a meal with my family after to celebrate the wedding. And New Year's Eve, that should be okay. You can do an online marriage ceremony as long as you don't do it in the Philippines. If you do an online marriage ceremony in the Philippines, your K1 visa is going to be terminated. It's going to be like Terminator 1. I'll be back. But you won't. If you're going to get married, if you do an online marriage ceremony, make sure you do it in the United States of America, not in the Philippines. Okay? You heard me, right? Because what's going to happen is if you get married in the Philippines on an online marriage ceremony, the Border Patrol officer is going to ask your beneficiary at the check-in point in the United States, are you married or are you single? Well, he's going to have to say he's married. And then he's going to be blocked from entering the United States and is going to be put on a plane back to the Philippines. Do not have an online marriage ceremony in the Philippines. Don't do that. Have it in the United States. Got to listen to me, man. Jonathan Lindo, I've had good experiences using DHL. Yeah, the U.S. government, the Homeland Security, use it all the time. They have a contract. New York to the Philippines, 2 to 3 day delivery. Yeah, it's a bit pricey, but fast and reliable. It's very expensive. A K1 visa is not a cheap process, guys. It's expensive, but you're investing money in your family. Miguel, when DS-160 asks if anyone has ever filed an immigrant petition on your behalf with USCIS, does that mean if I am an attorney, interpreter, preparer has ever filed? Does this question mean? It means no. Nobody has ever done that. So you answer no. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego, Karina, and Tokyo. Francois, Tokyo is sleeping on the computer bag. He knows if he starts messing up, knocking camera stuff everywhere, he's going in the bedroom and I'm going to close the door. He ain't coming out. And he likes to be with us. He's a family cat. He's the family house cat. He just needs to learn English. Because when he's in Florida, I'm going to be yelling for him in English, not in Spanish. Francois, thanks for the post, Francois. Danny Apple, hi Diego. Just the other day, I asked you when I might get my MVC welcome letter, and away to November 10th. Well, good news. I just received it December 19th. Now what? Okay, you got your welcome letter, your K1FT, you got your K1 FTP letter. Print 3 copies of it. Send one to your beneficiary because she's going to need it to set up a medical appointment. Now what you're going to do is you're going to wait for in transit, then the ready status from the embassy. Okay, okay, you got it. You're going to wait for in transit, then ready status. When you get ready status, email the embassy and check in with them and say, hey, this is my case number. I'm checking in. What do I do next? And they'll either give you directions, send you a packet 3, packet 4 email, or send you to U.S. travel docs to schedule your visa interview and pay the fee. Takes time though. Takes about a month. Okay. Tisha Sweeney Muhammadi, Diego, I got married today. Well, congratulations, Tishwani. Now, make sure you file your green card application within the next 90 days. Get it done so you get your green card. Somebody sent me a message and said, look, if I get married, can I wait a year or 2 before I file for my green card? I'm thinking, is this person okay? Does this person need help? You know, I mean, who would come to the United States and get married and not file for the green card? How are you going to get a job? How are you going to get a bank account? How are you going to exist in the United States without a green card? You can't. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Hey, Diego, Feliz Navidad. Thank you. Feliz Natal por ustedes. How are you, buddy? We're about to schedule an interview, medical, and all at Rio. That's at Rio de Janeiro. So you're in Brazil. That's good. Don't forget cash flow, cash flow. Your beneficiary's got to have at least 8 to 9 months of time left on her passport, not 6 months, 8 to 9 months, 9 months. And then go to the Rio de Janeiro, go to the U.S. Embassy website in Rio de Janeiro and print the letter of singleness. Look for the letter of singleness. Give it to your beneficiary. She needs to bring it to the visa interview. Brazil's the only country that requires you to sign a letter of singleness in front of the embassy officer, okay? Sharon Besekian, I am American. We know that, Sharon. We're American. I'm American too. Karina's Venezuelan, living in Colombia. And in 3 years and 3 months from now, she's going to be an American. And she's going to get a U.S. passport. And then we're going to have, then we can travel freely. Then we can come back to Colombia and see her family. And if those communists in Venezuela have been fired and put in jail or whatever, then we can go to Venezuela. And Karina doesn't like me talking about the communists in Venezuela because her mom and dad are still there, but her entire family is in Colombia except for mom and dad. But we take care of mom and dad. We're going to protect mom and dad. Let me see. Cash flows, congratulating Tesha Sweeney. DS160, Danny Apple, Diego. So I forgot again, the Philippines. Oh, no problem, Danny Apple. Yeah, your beneficiaries in the Philippines. What part of the Philippines does she live? If she lives in the southern Philippines, she got a lot of traveling to do to the embassy in Manila. You got to fly from Cebu or Dumaguete or wherever. Jacob Myers, we are doing online at my house in Colorado. Okay, no problem, Jacob. Just make sure it's legal. Make sure it's legitimate. Because if it's not, you're going to get a very nasty letter from the immigration people, Cash flow, but it's talking to Bud. Jacob, we fly back to Colorado December 30th and get married on the 31st. Now, don't forget, I couldn't do that because it takes 3 days to get a marriage certificate processed. In Florida, anyway. Jacob Myers, Diego, I know not to get married here. I'm not a goof. No, Jacob, you're not a goof, but it is my moral obligation to tell you not to do that if I see a post in YouTube that says you're going to get married online. But you didn't say you're going to get married online in Colorado. You said you're going to get married online. So I have to assume it's going to be in the Philippines, and I have to then stick my foot up your butt and tell you don't do that, because that's what good Navy chiefs do. They protect their people, and you're my people. So I'm protecting you, and I'm keeping you out of trouble. Okay? All right, I'm messing with you, Jacob. I'm messing with you. MVC inquiry from Bud. How long will it take to get a response? You'll get it within 24 to 48 hours. You're going to get an automatic response right away. Steph, when the beneficiary comes to America, how soon you can fly out of America? Why would you want to fly out of America right after you arrive? When Karina arrives in America, we're getting married, and she doesn't want to go anywhere but be with me in America. We're going to go to Nevada. We might go to Tennessee. So Karina has got no interest in flying anywhere except with me somewhere in the United States, because she's going to be an American. She's going to be a wife. She's going to become a Navy chief wife. But if you fly to America, get married, and you decide you want to go on vacation right away, you can't. You can't do it. You cannot leave America without an advance parole document or a green card. It takes, it might take 3 or 4 months to get an advance parole document. So, I don't know. You get to the United States, in my opinion, you get married and you build your life in America. You don't all of a sudden want to go back to where you started, right? Okay, that's my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but so cash flow. Thanks again, Diego. No worries. Evis Ordonez. Hello, Diego and Karina. My fiance and I are awaiting our appointment in Honduras, Central America. Okay, I've been to Honduras. We are optimistic. Of course, you're on the right. You're on the positivity channel, right? You're on the positivity channel. Already doing numbers for the adjustment of status. It's about $1,200 plus, right in there to adjust one person. Give us an idea of how much the budget is. $1,200. I would budget $1,300 total for the green card. It's about $1,285, somewhere in there. I can't remember exact, but if you budget $1,300, you're good for the green card process. Miguel, my fiance had her first B2. Hold on a second, guys. I got to page back up. Had her first B2 approved, then her second B2 denied due to 214B on the DS-160 when it asked to explain why does writing 214B suffice, or should I explain further? 214B is probably because you're in a K1 visa already. The 214B is you're in a K1 visa, so she's not going to probably get a second tourist visa because they're going to think she's going to come to the United States on vacation and get married. Well, you can't do that. That's a violation of immigration law. Some people do it, and get away with it sometimes, but not most times. So if you are in a K1 visa, it's going to show up in the computer, and the immigration officer is going to say, well, just wait for your K1 visa. Okay, and they'll block the B2. It's no big deal. Okay, it's no big deal. It's not going to hurt you. Hamid, hi Diego and Karina. I just filed I-130 for my wife through Rapid Visa. There's no such thing as a Rapid Visa. And they are asking me for a bona fide document like joint bank account and mortgage, but we just got married last month. Okay, well, you can put your wife on your mortgage. You can do that. You probably can't get a joint bank account without a social security number. So what I would do is I'd run over to the Social Security Administration and ask them for a social security number. Bring your I-94 form. Bring your passport and the visa approval in the passport, the spousal visa. Okay, so if you're using a company called Rapid Visa, I don't want to break your spirit, but there's no such thing as a Rapid Visa. But they took your money rapidly, but it's not going to speed up the process. Okay, using a company. But that's just my opinion. I got no problem with that company. I'm sure they do a fantastic job. Okay, but it's paperwork that you can do yourself without anybody else getting into your business and getting a hold of your private information. Okay. But good job on getting married and getting your I-130. Sharon Persikian, I was saying Feliz Navidad for Karina because she speaks Spanish. Sí, Karina entiendo. Karina understands. ¿Tú entiendes, Sharon? Feliz Navidad para ti. Karina's like, yeah, I got it. Feliz Navidad. Sharon, we love you, Sharon, and we understand. Karina's very happy.
Feliz Navidad también para ti.
Let me see here. Hamid, have anything together? Have anything together? I got pineapples up here. Karina's probably gonna make me a pineapple juice. This is good, huh?
Tu jugo favorito.
Yeah, it's my favorite. She says it's my favorite juice. She's right. Let me see. Jacob, we had to file 3 to 7 days before application so that they have the license ready for us for the 31st day. Walk out of the courthouse in Utah. Well, we love Utah. Utah's a beautiful state. What do they got? What do you got? Bryce Canyon? I've been to Utah probably twice, but I was at the airport. I landed at the airport, and then I didn't get off. I just changed planes. But I'm going to take Karina to Utah and take her to the mountains there, the Bryce Canyon, and something to do. Now Denise Jefferson said it's boring, but I don't know. I've never been. So anyway, let me see. Jeff Mantalk. Hello, Diego. What's up, Jeff? How are you? Look at all these fruit behind us. Look, those are potatoes. That's not fruit. And those are carrots. Zanahoria. Those are carrots. That's pineapple. That's bananas. Let me see. Marcel MP. Hi, Diego. Hi, Karina. I went to my medical exam today. It was very easy. Yeah, it's easy. The waiting is long, but the work is super fast. Interview day will be on the January 9th. Fantastic. So excited. We're excited for you also. We can't wait for you to get your visa approved. Like Jacob. Jacob, for the last year, he's been worried sick about not getting his visa. Worried to death. And then he had this Sputin thing he had to go through, which added another 2 months to his K1 visa. But I kept trying to tell you, you're going to get it. And he got it. Yes, was it yesterday? Right? You got it done. Bud Garcia, when my fiance gets her green card, she will be able to go see her mom or not? Yeah, with a green card. Yeah, you can travel with a green card. But make sure that she doesn't leave the country for longer than 6 months. Take a 2-week vacation. If you go out. Now what happens is if you leave the country on your 2-year green card, it's a probationary green card. You leave the country, and then you come back to the United States after a month vacation. That's when the clock restarts for citizenship. Every time you leave the United States, the clock stops, and then you come back to the United States and the clock starts again for U.S. citizenship. Remember, 3 years from the issue date of your 2-year green card, because you're going to go 2 years, then you're going to get your 10-year green card. 3 years from the issue date of your 2-year green card, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. And then you don't have to go through all this immigration mess anymore. Now, remember, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't give you any legal advice. Okay, immigration attorneys do a great job if you need one. If you have a criminal record that needs to be looked at, an immigration attorney is the person to go to check out your record to see if you qualify for the K1 visa. Remember, K1 visa is a benefit. It's a benefit. It's not a right. You go into these Facebook groups, you got all these people screaming and yelling, this process is horrible. Immigration's horrible. No, they're not. They're not horrible. They're doing their job. And their job is to provide you with a benefit to come to the United States. It's a benefit. If you qualify, if everything's good, you get it. If you don't, you won't. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. So Bud, yeah, when your fiance gets her green card, if she wants to travel back to Thailand, she can, but don't leave for a long time. Go for a 2-week vacation. That's about the max. My recommendation. I'm trying to save you a headache in the future. Okay. Let me see. I'm looking here. Samba Sila, hi Diego and Karina. Would recommend to get married before getting Social Security number, or it doesn't matter. I would get married first and then bring the marriage certificate to the Social Security office with your I-94 your K1 visa, and your biographic page photo. Also, what's required? What documents are required for marriage? Well, it depends where you live. In Florida, I take Karina to the government office, the clerk of the court in Santa Rosa County. I say, we want to get married. That's okay. You can process this online, pay for the marriage certificate, marriage license, and then you got to wait 3 days, and then we get married. This is one document, and Karina's going to have to show her passport. Okay, she doesn't have a green card. She doesn't have a driver's license. She has her passport, which is her ID. So the clerk of the court in Florida is going to look at her passport, make sure her name is the same name on the marriage certificate license, and then I pay for the marriage license. I pay the wedding officiant, excuse me, and then we get married on the beach. That's it. It's easy. Joey M, after I pay the U.S. travel docs fee, how long after that will I be able to have my interview? Depends on the country. Depends on the availability of interviews. Depends on how busy the embassy is or the consulate. When I got the packet 3, packet 4 email from the embassy in Bogotá, Colombia, they gave me 3 links. I clicked on the first link, took me to travel docs. Boom, filled out the DS-160, helped Karina with it. Then I paid the visa fee, and I paid the visa fee with the case number and the DS-160 number. As soon as I paid for the visa fee, the U.S. government put their hand in my wallet and took that money. Then a calendar opened up, and there was 1 day left in November and 1 day left in November for biometrics. So I went, pop. Okay, I got November 8th for biometrics. Pop. November 16th I took for the interview, and then Karina scheduled her medical exam 5 days before the interview, which was a little tight. It was running a little tight, but that's how it rolled out. Alejandro Ray, hey Diego and Karina, how are you guys? We're good. We're good. You watch Jeff Dunham with Peanut? I love that guy. Let me see. We're good. Just wanted to let you all know that we got our appointment in Bogotá. Yay! Febrero 23 in Baja Cita. Bien. That's great, Alejandro. So thanks for all of your help. No worries. Now remember, when you go to the visa interview, bring everything that you got. Photos of your relationship, previous trips. Load up, because you never know what they're going to ask for, okay? Marcel MP, oh, and I didn't require any more vaccinations. Well, that's good. Good. Karina had to have 2 more. Karina's arms were like mucho dolor. Man, her arms hurt for 2 days. But we paid the doc in Bogotá, and we said, come on, we'll give the doctor the money for the vaccinations. We won't pay the doctor in Florida. But great job, Alejandro, on your visa appointment February 23rd. That's great news. Buena noticia, gracias. Marcel, let me see. The doctor asked for my documents, and I was very prepared. Boom, boom, boom. Thanks to this channel. Marcel, good news. We're glad we're helping you. We're glad we're helping you. And, we're here for you. I know how to do this like the back of my hand, guys. I probably know 99.9% of all the answers to your questions. And I've probably got a 98% accuracy rate, okay? I've been through this thing twice, and in fact, in a spousal. It's a horrible, stressful, difficult process if you don't know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, it's not so bad, because you know what's behind. You're going through the maze. I know what's around the corner, and I tell you guys what's around the corner before you get around the corner, so there's no surprises. Miguel, it was several years ago, Diego, a year after her first B2 was approved. 214B is due to not having enough ties to the country. Yeah, that's what they say. You don't have enough ties to the country, not enough money in the bank. You don't have full-time work. You don't own a house. You don't own any real estate. I know what it is. So what you're asking me, should I just write 214B for the explanation? No, just write 214B. I just didn't want to go into details about it because I know what it is. But you just write, don't give any more information that's required. Right. No 214B. The embassy's going to know, okay, your beneficiary didn't quite make enough money. She didn't have enough real estate investments in our country. No big deal. When you fill out the I-134, put 0000 for income and assets for her and bring her to America and get married. Okay? And have a happy life together. And don't worry about that B2 visa. Forget about it. Jeff, Mantok, Diego, I emailed the NVC and they told me that they sent our package to the embassy, but I did not get a welcome letter. Okay. Well, you need to send an NVC inquiry back to the NVC and say, please send me my K1FTP email. K1FTP email. Ask for that. Okay. All right, you got it? San Basilio, do the embassies give back the medical exam report? They give the medical exam report one of two ways. They either give it to you in a sealed envelope. They gave Karina her medical exam in a sealed envelope that said top secret, do not open, okay? National security, for your eyes only, 007, James Bond, CIA. Don't open it. She took it, Karina, my beautiful prometida right here, Karina took it and gave it to the embassy officer and said, here's my top secret medical exam. Okay, now the doctor gave her a CD with that same information on it, okay, for her. But we're going to get a brand new medical exam done in Pensacola. I don't care what's on that CD, okay? I'm not going to I cannot include a CD in her green card package. They'll throw it away, or they'll destroy it. So we're going to get a brand new medical exam for Karina in Pensacola, and then I will file that with her green card application. Ivis Ordonez. If a petitioner has an income that barely meets the necessary poverty guidelines, could the visa be rejected during the interview? Yes. At the visa interview. No. Here's what will happen, Ivis, if you don't make enough money. If it's right on the border, they probably won't deny the visa, but they're going to say you need a joint sponsor. They'll put the visa package into a 221G hold while you go find a joint sponsor. The joint sponsor has to fill out the I-134, provide tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, and a letter from his or her boss, okay, saying this is where he works or she works. If you don't quite make the income, it's okay. I mean, not everybody makes $100,000 a year. Not in today's economy. Our economy right now sucks. So it's not surprising people are not making the income, okay? But you got to get a joint sponsor. All right, you got it? Ivis, do not go to that visa interview without an I-134 filled out by a joint sponsor. That will protect you from a 221G administrative hold, okay? Plus all those financial documents I said. Jacob, LMAO, Diego, you can't fix overthinkers. Jacob, I know you're an overthinker, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm still trying to figure out why you live in Colorado, okay? I mean, why do you live in Colorado? It's cold, it's snowing, it's 5,000 feet above sea level, the roads get iced over, okay? And your Supreme Court is a joke. But I've been to Colorado, I've been to Durango. It was a beautiful place to visit, but I couldn't live there. Just like I told Francois, get out of New York State, go move to North Carolina. You get a massive pay raise. Your taxes become like cut in half. Jacob, move to Florida, get a big pay raise in Florida, and you won't have to worry about snow anymore. And you won't have to worry about the Supreme Court in your state. I mean, the Supreme Court, who is it? One of them was a jazz musician. How in the heck did a jazz musician become a member of the Supreme Court of Colorado? I mean, I'm trying to figure this out, guys. JD, hi Diego and Karina, how are you? We're good. I'm in adjustment of status process. Okay, good. Got biometrics, very good. In new year, when I'm able to apply for the USA driving license. Okay, JD, you can get a US driver's license as soon as you get a social security number and a green card, depending on your state. In Florida, you can get a Florida driver's license with a social security number. but I'm going to get Karina her green card and her social security number. Then I'm going to get her driver's license. But I got to teach her how to drive. And we got another super chat, guys. Look at that. We got a super chat from Miss Entertainment, Miss Betty. How are you, Miss Betty? Are you okay, Miss Betty? We know you have issues there. We know you had some issues there with your beneficiary. Let us know what's going on if you want to. But we're here for you, Miss Betty. We're gonna get you through this. So yeah, JD, get the driver's license when you get the social security number and the green card in Florida. That's the rule for Florida. Let me see. Jacob, we live life always thinking about the many possibilities. Jacob, I'm a stoic person, okay? I'm a very stoic person. Nothing bothers me. Nothing bothers me. Immigration, the crazy government, nothing. The cold, the hot, nothing bothers me. I'm stoic. I am right now in this moment with my beautiful soon-to-be wife. I don't live in the past because that means you're going to be depressed. Okay? I don't live in the future because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm right now with Karina, and if you live the way I live my life is beneficial. So I don't stress. I don't overthink. I don't worry. I keep going. I keep pressing on. Never be a victim, okay? Lots of bad things happen to people in their lives. Lots. I mean, it could be a visa denial. It could be a jerk who used somebody for a visa. It could be you get in a bad car wreck. You could be in the hospital. Just keep pressing on, guys. Let me see. Denise Jefferson. Denise, where have you been, Denise? You must have been on vacation. Where have you been? Denise, Diego, does the 90-day period after the NOA2 start after you receive your welcome letter? I heard that it could take up to a month to receive the letter. No, Denise. Here's what happens, okay? You got your NOA2 letter, right? You look for your beneficiary's name, and under his name, there is an alien registration number, right? That's his alien number that has been assigned to him by immigration. And right under there, it says this visa is good for 4 months. If you send an inquiry after 30 days, I would say 60 days, to the MVC, say, hey guys, I'm checking in. This is my receipt number for my NOA2 letter. I got approved. My visa's approved. Your K1 visa's approved, Denise. You're good. Your visa's approved. You're good. Send the MVC an inquiry in about 60 days and say, I'm checking in, and they will send you an email back, either with a case number or K1 FDP welcome letter or something. That automatically extends your NOA2 letter all the way to when you have your visa interview. It's automatically extended. So it doesn't matter. It becomes irrelevant how much time it takes from the expiration date on your NOA2 letter to the visa interview becomes irrelevant so long as you have made communication with the MVC. Now, when I got my NOA2 letter, I waited for 60 days, and then I sent the MVC an inquiry. I waited 90 days. Correction. I waited 90 days. I sent the MVC an inquiry, and then a few days later, they sent me back a letter saying, your visa's, still under review, in process, whatever. And then on May 30th, I got the approval of 2023. Okay, that automatically extended the NOA2 letter all the way up through November 16th when I had scheduled Karina's visa interview. So what I'm telling you is the 4-month window of time on your NOA2 letter will expire if you don't communicate with the MVC. If you don't communicate with the MVC, they'll think you've abandoned the visa. 60 days in, send an email inquiry to the MVC, check in with them, boom. Your NOA2 letter is now indefinite. It's up until the visa interview, okay? All right, Denise? So don't worry, Denise, you're good. You're covered. You're covered. You just gotta communicate with the MVC. They'll send you back an automatic response. Automatic. That covers you right there. Lola Ali, hi Diego, thanks for your advice. I took my husband back to the Social Security office, and this time they processed his application. I told you, his card should be here in 2 weeks. Thanks for everything, Lola. See, now Lola sent me an email. She said, Diego, I went to the Social Security office and they won't give me my husband his Social Security number. They won't let me process it. And they made up some bogus, stupid excuse. It sounds like the MVC telling me that the embassy was closed in Bogotá because of COVID. So I told her, go to another Social Security office or find another person who knows what they're doing besides me. And she did. And boom, in 2 weeks from now, she's going to get a Social Security number. You can't beat this channel, right? I mean, seriously. You can't beat the information that we put out. And I'm glad to help. And now Lola is happy as can be. Jose Apolana Ramirez. Buenas noches, Jose, Diego y Karina. Tu espera para tu pasaporte para tu prometida Juliana. So, okay, yeah. So what happened? Your visa got approved, right? And you're just waiting on the passport to come back, right? With the visa in it. So you can fly back to New York City. New York City, you're in New York too, man. Jose, what are you doing living in New York? In the city. I can't afford to step on the sidewalk cracks in New York City. It's so expensive. Bless you for living there, man. I couldn't do it. Her visa's got approved, Santo Domingo. Okay, great. Quick interview. Yeah, you guys did great. You got approved, Jose. Fantastic. Fantastic. You need to message Francois Livingston. You guys need to get together and figure out how much a U-Haul costs from New York to North Carolina. I'm kidding. I'm kidding with you. Jacob, you just what? You just hut my overthinker cat. So if we have our 2-year green card and we take a week or two trip, that resets the time for citizenship. Yeah. If you leave the country, if you leave the United States, the clock stops because you're on a probationary green card. Probationary means you are here under the good graces of the U.S. government, okay? And the U.S. government is watching you. And if you leave the country, they're going to know you left. And they're going to know when you came back. And then the clock's going to restart, okay? Once you get to the United States on a 2-year green card, stay in the United States until you get a 10-year green card. Once you get a 10-year green card, you can bounce back and forth however you want. You're a legal permanent resident with rights. On a 2-year green card, okay, you've got an ankle bracelet on and you're on probation. And you got to check in with your probation officer at 90 days before your 2-year green card expires. That's the way to look at it. And if you start leaving the United States on a 2-year green card, your clock's going to stop, your clock's going to start, your clock's going to stop, your clock's going to start. And then when you go apply for U.S. citizenship, the immigration officer is going to say, have you lived continuously in the United States or have you left the United States in the last 3 years? Well, I went 2 weeks here, then I went 2 weeks, and then I went back again for 3 weeks. And that could hurt your immigration chances for citizenship. Okay? Trust me, man. You got to listen to my advice, okay? I'm trying to help you guys. So let me see here. Jacob, once you get to America, once you get married in the United States, keep your beneficiary in the United States. Okay? Keep him here until he gets his 10-year green card, then go on vacation. Okay? Miss Entertainment. Okay, Miss Betty. Hi, Diego. My fiance came last Saturday. I thought he disappeared, but he wasn't. He surprised me. Miss Betty. Okay, Miss Betty. Prometido bien. No invisible. That's good. Miss Betty, we're so happy for you. You know, I was thinking I was going to have to help you file a deportation order on this guy. But I'm glad that he showed up. That's great. I'm so happy. Man, that's a great relief. For you, Marcel, pastel in hojas. Okay. There's a question for Karina. It's not for me. Jose Opalana. She no entiende. Karina said she doesn't know. Marcel, Jose Ramirez. Diego, we got a few questions, and the consular officer only asked for police certificate and birth certificate. Okay. And marriage certificate and divorce certificate. Okay. and said your visa is approved in Santo Domingo. But that divorce certificate was a certified divorce certificate, a certified copy, stamped and certified, right? It wasn't a copy of a copy of a copy. San Basila, Diego, my fiance didn't get the vaccines when she was doing the medical exam because she is Oregano. What do you mean she's Oreganos? What does that mean? Does she have to do it before we apply for the adjustment of status? Sandra, let me explain to you about vaccinations. Let me explain it very clearly. Listen, pay attention. If you get married and your new wife doesn't get vaccinated for COVID, for smallpox, for mumps, for rubella, for whatever, she will not get her green card. Oh well, what if I apply for a religious exemption? Doesn't work. This is what will happen if you apply for a religious exemption. Your beneficiary will be told to fly back home to her home country, and her visa will be denied. Her green card will be denied. Okay? There's no religious exemptions for vaccinations. I mean, unless you're an illegal immigrant and you just walk across the border, then you don't need a vaccination. That's another story. But if you're coming to the country as a legal resident, okay, as a legal resident, you're going to get a green card. You must be vaccinated against COVID, smallpox, mumps, rubella, diphtheria. There's like about 10 or 11 vaccinations you got to have. And you got to have that in your green card application. If you don't include the vaccinations required by the U.S. government in your green card application, your green card application will be sent back to you for an RFE, request for further evidence. Where's your vaccinations? I don't have any. I have a religious exemption. Okay, get on a plane, fly back to wherever it is you came from. That's how it works. So my advice to you, Samba, is if she's Oreganos, whatever that is, that's great. She can be Oreganos if she wants. But in America, you can be whatever you want. You can be Oreganos, whatever you want to be. But you're going to be required to have vaccinations. Okay? You got it? So does she have to apply? Does she have to have the vaccinations before we apply for the green card? Yes. If you don't include the vaccination document in the green card application, the adjustment of status, you won't get a green card. Miguel, on the DS-160, if no state province is shown on the passport, do I just leave the answer blank? That's correct. Or you put NA. Or not applicable. Isn't there a block that's a spot you can put NA or it doesn't apply? Ross Lee went through the USCIS, NOA1, NOA2. So did we. MVC. So did we. Got the case number and the invoice number yesterday. Then yesterday it says in transit and today it says ready. I still not have received the welcome letter. Ross Lee, send an inquiry to the MVC and ask them for the K1 FTP welcome letter. Say, dear National Visa Center, please send me my K1 FTP welcome letter. Okay, you got it? Ross Lee, I just explained it to you. Send an inquiry to the MVC. Now what's going to happen is the MVC is going to send you the welcome letter. Okay, they'll send it to you. You got to have it. Miss Entertainment, Miss Betty. He thanked you for your help. Well, I'm glad to help him because I was trying to get him deported. And also saying that I used to watch you in Paris. Okay. And here I am watching you from the USA. I feel bad. Hopefully you guys will be here with your fiance soon. Oh yeah, we're going to be probably the first week of January. Next week, we'll probably get her passport, Karina's passport. Next week, a week max, we'll go down to the embassy. No, not the embassy. We're going to go to the office. There's an office where we pick it up with her packet. And then we're going to have a free yard sale. Karina's going to get on the phone to her brothers, hermanos, to hermanos, and say, hey,
Ciao.
no chao, aquí en casa es gratis mueble. There's a family reunion and a free yard sale. Take whatever you can carry, except the cat and Karina's laptop. Okay, they can have everything but the laptop, the cat, and our clothes. Everything else is free. The curtains, the whatever that's called, the chairs, the table, The radio is going to go to her wherever. What, your younger brother? Okay. Let me see here. So I've been to Paris, Miss Betty. I was in Paris in 1996. I was in Paris, and I was in Marseille, France, and I was in Paris, France in 1996. Let me see. But thank you for that super chat, Miss Betty. That's a real. I'm going to add that super chat, and we're going to go tomorrow. I'm going to figure probably, I don't know, maybe pizza. But I think Karina's about sick of pizza. We'll see. Jacob Myers.
Miguel.
Well, they are Miguel. Missed the question. Okay, Miguel, on DS-160 for work history, should it be listed from the most recent to the oldest? That's correct. That's exactly how you do it. Jacob, well, they are appointed. The Supreme Court was appointed by who in Colorado? What were they on? Some kind of medication? I'm kidding. I don't know. The Supreme Court in Colorado is a joke. And I hope they watch this video. Not elected. Yeah, well, they're appointed. Okay, so we don't have the power as the people as we are looking at moving to North Carolina or Maine. Jacob, you're going to get out of Colorado and move to North Carolina or Maine. Now, remember, Maine's pretty cold. Maine's near Canada, so you're going to get cold there. But that's a good idea. Great idea. You know, I love Colorado. I'll go there for a vacation. I'll take Karina to Colorado, but we're going to stay a few days, okay? And that's it. Let me see. I need the cold. Okay, well, North Carolina's cold. So is Maine. I'm naturally not just warm-blooded. Okay, that's good. I'm not saying being an overthinker is bad. I'm just saying it's kind of like a mental process. There's nothing wrong with being an overthinker. Overthinkers stay out of trouble more than people that don't overthink. You know, they do. They stay out of trouble. Jeff Mantok, Denise Jefferson. I sent an inquiry to the NBC after 30 days, and they told me they already sent my package to the embassy. There you go, Jeff. Jacob, his best friend is planning on getting married in 2025. Okay, in 2025. Hopefully in 2025, we got a new president that knows what he's doing. And I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a retired military independent. Okay, Republicans and Democrats are both as bad as each other. They can't stand either party. Okay, and anyway, that's me. I'm independent military. So in 2025, you're going to have a marriage for your best friend. He wants him to attend in the Philippines. Okay. How on earth am I supposed to tell him you can't go even with a green card? You tell him you can't go. You tell him on a 2-year green card, you're here on a on probation. Just pretend you got an ankle bracelet on your ankle and you're on probation. You can't go anywhere. Get your 10-year green card, then you can travel without any hassle. Even though they say we can get an advanced parole with the green card. An advanced parole means you can leave the United States on a temporary 2-year green card or without a green card. Without it, you still, you got to go back in an emergency. But if you listen to my advice and you don't leave the country, let's suppose you leave the country on a 2-year green card with advanced parole, and then you come back to the Border Patrol office, and the Border Patrol office can say, why'd you leave the United States? You just got here. Well, I wanted to go to visit mom and dad and whatever. Well, the purpose of moving to the United States on a green card is to become a permanent resident, not a part-time resident, okay? On your 2-year green card, which you must lift the conditions on 90 days before it expires to get your 10-year green card, do not leave the United States. That's my opinion. You guys do whatever you want, but I'm just saying what the right path is to become a resident of the United States and eventually a citizen. Elliot Lee, how long should our intent to marry letter be? 1 page. Short and sweet. 1 page maximum. Include in the letter of intent to get married, you are a U.S. citizen. You are legally free and able to marry, and you will get married within 90 days upon arriving in the United States. That's the first letter. The second letter of intent to get married, you will write, I'm a U.S. citizen. I am legally free and able to get married. I will do so within 90 days of my beneficiary arriving in the United States. And then you fill the rest up with fluff. We're still in love. We still, head over heels in love with each other. We went on a trip here. We went on a trip there. We went to Cucuta. We went to Cartagena. We went to Chauchi. We went to Bucaramanga on a bus. Where, donde? That place, I can't say that. I got these braces on my front teeth. I can't say that word. But that's what we put in the second letter. Samba, she didn't get the vaccines because she was pregnant. Oh, she's pregnant. You didn't say pregnant. You said oreganos. Now, I don't know what oreganos is, but pregnant is a different story. Do we have to do the vaccines before we apply for the adjustment of status? Go to a civil surgeon in the United States of America and have a civil surgeon write a letter to immigration saying that you are pregnant, or your beneficiary is pregnant, and that she is advised against these vaccinations. Then you'll get your green card. That's a legitimate excuse. A legitimate medical excuse like being pregnant is fine, okay? But don't be surprised in a year after the baby's born, you get a letter from immigration saying we need to see your vaccinations now. Send it in, okay? Medical excuse is good, you're fine. But you gotta make sure the civil surgeon who is approved by the US government, the State Department, writes a letter and explains that she's pregnant and please request an exemption for vaccines until after the baby's born. Okay, you got it, Samba? You got to give me more info. If you just tell me if you tell me vaccinations and oreganos, I don't know what that. I mean, come on, man. Okay, Jose Apolana Ramirez, Diego. I live in New York City since 1980. I lived in New York in 1982. Cannot leave New York City because I'm a tax professional and have a lot of clients. So you built a great business. No, understood. But I know what you mean. New York City is very expensive, but I love it. I love New York City too. I love it. In the summer, on vacation. I lived in Staten Island with my aunt. My aunt used to work in the World Trade Center right before, and I was there in 1982. And I used to go, my aunt used to get up. We'd ride the Verrazano, what's it called? The ferry, the Verrazano ferry. We'd ride the ferry over to Manhattan. I walk to work with her. She worked, I think it was on the 80th floor of Tower 1 of the World Trade Center. And I would just go hang out. I'd walk up there, I'd go get a lunch. At lunchtime, I'd go get a lunch, bring it up in the elevator. You know, I'd scare the tourists in the elevator because I'd be there and I hit max on the elevator, max speed, and the tourists would be going up to the 110th floor of the World Trade Center, which was the observation deck. The observation deck was 110 stories high, and I was bored, and I said, okay, I'll be the elevator operator, and I'd hit max speed, and the tourists they'd be looking for their vomit bag, but that's okay. That was me when I was young and dumb, when I was just a kid. But I love New York City, Jose, and unfortunately, I don't agree with the government there. I mean, you built a fantastic business, Jose, as a tax accountant, okay? And the government of New York, they take a bunch of that of your profit away in tax. It's insane, man. Okay, guys, come on, throw some K1 visa questions at me. Did I miss anybody? Karina's telling me I got a page down. Okay, let me see. I got to hit this button right here. Hold on a second. Let me see. What did I miss? Karina, take control of this computer for me because I'm not the greatest. Okay, there you go. She brought the mouse to her. Samba. So I have to wait till she gives birth before we apply for the adjustment of status, and she can't get the vaccines because she's pregnant. No, that's not true. You can apply for the adjustment of status for the green card, get the civil surgeon, the doctor, to write a letter saying that your beneficiary, your wife now, is pregnant and has been exempted from these vaccines. You're good. Don't wait for the baby. You can if you want, but I wouldn't. Go ahead and get the green card started and get the civil surgeon to write a letter. It's like, if you miss a day at school, you're sick, mom writes a letter to the teacher. Little Johnny was sick today. Okay. Even though he was out skateboarding at the skateboard park, little Johnny was sick. Can you give him a day of relief? Go to the civil surgeon, go to the doctor, approved by the State Department, and say, look, my wife's pregnant. Can we get an exemption for the vaccines? And the civil surgeon will make that decision. The civil surgeon will make that decision. Okay? Not you, not me, the civil surgeon. Miguel, DS-160 asked for the last 5 years of work. Okay? History. The work history book gives only 2 additional work spots. So I just put the last 2 on top of the current work. So should we just not worry about the 5 years? Just give the last 2. If you only have 2 spots, fill in the 2 spots. I remember that question. Okay, so I had to call Karina and ask her what was the address of where she worked. I knew the address of her last job, but I needed to know the new address of her new job, and I couldn't remember what it was, so I had to call her. But immigration really don't care about whether your beneficiary is working or not. They don't care. They care about how much money you make as a sponsor. The I-134 is what's really important. Where your beneficiary works is irrelevant. Just fill in the last 2 jobs, and then leave it at that. Kaja Jali Darbo. If your case has been documentarily qualified from NBC, sounds like you're in a spousal visa. How long do you have an interview scheduled at the embassy in Senegal? It's been 6 months now. No interview. Oh yeah, it's an IR1 visa. Yeah, I knew right off the bat it was a spousal visa because you said documentarily qualified at the National Visa Center. If you've been waiting 6 months, you need to get on the phone to your senator, your U.S. senator. You got 2 U.S. senators in the state where you live, where your sponsor lives. Get on the phone to your senator and say, I need assistance getting a visa interview at the embassy in Senegal. We pay taxes to the senator that makes $175,000 a year. He makes a lot of money. It's our money that we pay into our taxes that he takes. So he needs to be working for you as a taxpayer to help you get your visa interview. Okay? They'll help you. The senators will help you. They have offices set up specifically for immigration help. KJB, hey Diego, how soon to file DS-160? My case is now at the NVC, NOA2 received. You got to wait for the welcome letter, KJB, or the in transit or the ready status. That's when you do the DS-160. It depends on the embassy. And in Colombia, we had to wait for the packet 3, packet 4 email. Okay, the packet 3, packet 4 email tells me to start the process. Go to this link, boom. Go to this link, boom. And then after I did all these steps, I got these emails automatically generated telling me this is the office where the doctor works. This is his phone number. This is the place to go for the biometrics. This is the place to go for the visa interview. I already knew where the embassy was. I've been there more times than I've been to the 7-Eleven in my hometown. But, that's how it works. Miguel, thanks for the advice on the green card travel stuff. Diego, good to know. Miguel, I'm going to save you with a big headache. Big headaches. Once you get your 2-year green card, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stay in the United States of America until you get your 10-year green card so you don't have any issues down the road if you want to become a citizen. Okay? So you don't get stopped at the Border Patrol office in the port of entry saying, why did you leave the United States? You just got here. Why are you leaving? Do you not want to live here? It's a big red flag to leave the United States on a 2-year green card. It's a big red flag unless it's a medical reason or, somebody passes away in the family and it's an emergency. If it's just for a vacation, immigration don't like that. Jacob, Diego, you confused me so much because in the past episode you said it was okay to leave as long as we have our green card. As long as you have your 10-year green card, okay? And you can leave the United States on a 10-year green card for 2 weeks vacation. And it better be a vacation, okay? Go on vacation. Immigration processes change. It's fluid. It's kind of like the taxes. It's kind of like, the IRS. The IRS, they come up with these new rules every year on how to process taxes. The same is with the immigration. Immigration, they get bored. They're paying these immigration officers all this money, and they're sitting around. So what can we do today? Oh, let's change this. Well, let's change the form I-134. Yeah, let's update that form. Yeah, that's the way to go. It's just a fluid process, okay? And I'm keeping you out of trouble, Jacob. Diego, you confused me. Well, I've unconfused you. Don't leave the country, Jacob, on a 2-year green card. You can. I'm not saying you can't, but it's not good. It's going to hurt your beneficiary. Now you are saying no leaving even with a green card or AP because you won't get citizenship. No, that's not what I said. If you leave the United States on a 2-year green card with advanced parole, when you apply for U.S. citizenship, you have to wait longer before you can apply for it. The immigration office is going to interrogate you. Why did you leave the United States? Why didn't you live in the United States continually for the last 3 years? Why did you leave? Why did you do that? They want to know. And you got to give a good answer. If you don't, well, he wanted to go to see his friend's wedding. Okay. Is it a medical emergency? I'm just trying to help you, Jacob. Okay. If you just listen to my advice, where's Mosquito Guy at? Where's Mosquito Guy? He told me he didn't need a divorce decree for the visa interview in the Philippines. He said doesn't need it. Okay. Well, when his fiance goes to the visa interview in the Philippines, they're going to ask her for his divorce decree. Certified. Let's see. Bud Garcia, good night. Have a good night. I have to have dinner. Thank you for everything and your knowledge. Hey, Bud, no problem. I tell you, I've got so much information about USCIS, the NVC, marriage visas. I could write the book on this thing. Miguel, thanks, Diego. You really make this process simple. That's the goal. Let's make it easy. Let's make this process easy, simple. If you read the USCIS instruction manual, you need a PhD you need to have a PhD as an attorney to understand it. Try to read the directions to some of their forms. It's like you got to have a master's degree in general administration. So I've tried to simplify this process for you guys. Miguel, you really should be an immigration attorney, Diego. No, thank you. There is no way I would ever want to be an immigration attorney. I'm a real estate agent, and I'm going to retire from that probably very soon too. I'm going to retire from that. I want to do something else. I'm going to start a coffee distribution company, and we got contacts here in Choachí in Colombia and in the Coffee Triangle in Colombia. I want to start a coffee distribution company. How about that? But I'm not going to be an immigration attorney. No way, ever. KJB, how soon to file the form I-134? KJB, you do not file form I-134. There's no place to upload it. There's nowhere to file it. The Declaration of Financial Support, you fill it out a month before the visa interview at the embassy, and then you either DHL courier the original I-134 form signed and dated to your beneficiary, or you do like I did and get on a plane, right? Get on a plane. I filled out the I-134 on my computer. Some parts I had to fill out in black pen. I signed and dated it, printed it, and it's printed, and I gave it to Karina. I said, hey, Feliz Navidad. Here is aquí es tu forma I-134. Give it to the immigration officer, to the embassy officer. She went, okay. You don't upload it. You don't file it. You fill it out. You sign it, date it. The original has to be in the hands of your beneficiary. If you mail it DHL courier, mail it a month or 6 weeks before it's due, because sometimes, like there was a lady, Jennifer, her beneficiary mailed the I-134 to her from the United States, and it got caught up in Colombian customs. So she was at the medical exam with us. She says, "Hey, it's Diego. I see you on TV." And Karina's like, "Yeah, it's Diego. He's on TV. He does these immigration stuff." She said, "I got a question." She goes, "I didn't get my I-134. It's caught up in customs." I said, "Well, you need to call your sponsor up and tell him to get on a plane and bring it to you like today." Denise Jefferson, look at you.
Yes.
Man, another fantastic super chat from Denise. Denise is the #1 channel supporter.
Sí.
She's #1, numero uno. Okay, she's kept Karina in steaks and pizza for the last 2 months. I've been in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Denise says, "The devil is in the detail. We are paying attention, Diego. Thanks to you and Karina." Yeah, Denise.
Yes, yes.
I may be hard sometimes. I may be strong with my words, but I'm trying to get people to listen. Like Mosquito Guy. There was one guy who said, I can't remember his name. He said, to prove the relationship is real, when you adjust the status to green card, all you got to have are letters from people that know where you live. So that is the most insane, incorrect information ever on this channel. And I said, "Listen up. You're welcome on the channel. We love your opinion. We really appreciate your opinion. But that is totally incorrect. And if people listen to that, they're not going to get their green cards." Then he said, "Well, I think that's the correct process." I said, "Well, here's the deal, guy. You're on the wrong channel." And I blocked him. I mean, I'm a First Amendment guy. Okay, I agree. I don't like to block somebody's opposing opinion to what I say. I don't like to do that. But the information would have hurt people. It would have hurt somebody. It would have hurt their green card process. So I had to boot them off. I didn't want to do that. But if like Denise says, if you listen to what I say, the details are very important. Dot the I's and cross the T's. You'll get your green card. You'll get your visa approval. Everything's going to work out. Look at us. Karina went to her visa interview in November 16th, and the embassy officer said, "Karina, we need an Interpol police certificate. This police certificate from Colombia isn't sufficient." And Karina's like, "I've been living in Colombia for 5 years, almost 6 years. This police certificate," we called the police department, and they said, "Put your passport number in online. You'll get a police certificate from Colombia, and it will say foreigner, extranjero."
Mm-hmm.
So Karina did exactly what she was told to do. And as I explained it to her, boom. "Where's your Interpol police certificate?" Karina's like, "What the heck's that?"
Mm-hmm.
"Where on the list does it say Interpol police certificate? Where in the U.S. Embassy website in Bogotá does it say you need an Interpol police certificate?" "Well, Karina, you lived in Colombia 5.5 years. You're a Venezuelan. Why are you here?" "Well, I really didn't like living under a communist dictator in Venezuela. I like to eat. I like to put food on the table. I like to have lights on and internet and my phone." And he's like, "Well, we just need an Interpol police certificate." She goes, "Okay, how do I do that?" So then he pulls out this yellow sheet of paper that nobody probably knows exists in the whole world now, except for Karina and everybody watching the video. And he checked the box. He said, "Right here is the Interpol. Go here, go to this address, and they'll help you." So Karina left. She got her visa approved. The embassy officer said, "Your visa's approved, Karina. Congratulations, you're good. We just need this Interpol police certificate." So I checked the SIAC status, and it said ready. It didn't say denied. It just said ready. So they were just waiting on this letter from the Interpol. Karina runs over there. It's not far from the embassy. It's 5 minutes from the embassy. She goes, "Hey, Interpol, hello, it's me. I need this letter." And the lady said, "No problem. Go to this email address, upload your passport biographic page and your cedula from Colombia, which is your protective status cedula," because Karina's got protective status in Colombia for 10 years. And I went to that interview with her for that 2 years ago. So Karina got home. She was like, man, I think my visa got denied. I said, hold on a second. Lleva, espera. Let me read the letter. So I read the two letters. The first letter was the white letter in the white paper. It said, Karina, congratulations, your K1 visa has been approved. Welcome to the United States. And then the yellow letter said, you just need this Interpol police certificate and then we'll process your visa. Karina got it done within 2 hours of getting out of the embassy. Yesterday, okay, a week ago, I emailed the Interpol police certificate to the embassy. And then yesterday we were having a nice super chat dinner, thanks to Denise Jefferson and Jen Yeller and everybody. And, you know, and then I checked the SEAC status today. It said your visa's approved, your Interpol police certificate's accepted, everything's good. So now we're just waiting on the issued status, which means we can go pick up her passport. Anyway, let's get back. So Denise says right here, I too thought that my beneficiary could go back home anytime he wants after getting the green card. Technically he can, but I don't recommend it. This is not the case versus 2 weeks per year. This info is vital. Yeah, Denise, I'm so glad you're on the channel today watching. I hope you're on it every time. But the thing is this, the immigration process is getting stricter and stricter and stricter. The process is getting quicker and quicker and quicker, but it's getting stricter and stricter. Border Patrol officers have been told, if you're on an advanced parole document with a 2-year green card, you have the authority to block that person from coming back in the USA. Okay? So here's the deal. When Karina gets her 2-year green card, we ain't going anywhere. I have personally talked to her family, her brothers, her mom in Venezuela, everybody. I said, listen up. You love Karina. We love Karina. I love Karina. But when she's in America, you're not going to see her for about 4 years. Do you understand that? They said, yes, we understand. Thank you for telling us. I'm going to tell you the truth and how it rolls so you don't get surprised, so you don't get into a trick, where you get a problem at the embassy or a problem at the Border Patrol. I was in Fort Lauderdale Airport, International Airport. It was about 5 years ago, and there was a lady with an advanced parole document. There was a lady who just married her American citizen husband. They were man and wife, 2 weeks married, and she wanted to go back to Peru to see her family. No advanced parole document, no 2-year green card. She figured because I'm married, I can come back to the United States because I'm married. All I got to do is show my marriage certificate. I told the lady, she's sitting right next to me. She was Peruvian. I spoke pretty good Spanish. I told her in Spanish, don't leave the United States. Do not get on that plane to Peru right now. This is in Fort Lauderdale. She goes, why not? I said, if you get on that plane, you can't come back. You have to go through the I-130, the IL-1, CR1 visa, the spousal visa. Take you another 2 years. So her husband came over and said, are you for real, dude? He's giving me this attitude, are you for real, dude? I said, let me tell you something, man. If your wife gets on that plane, she ain't coming back to the United States for 2 years. Now, you can listen to me, or you can go talk to the airline agent who was behind that desk over there. I think it was Spirit Airlines. So he went over and talked to the airline agent, and he said, we don't have a green card, we don't have advanced parole. Can my wife leave the United States? And the lady said she wasn't really familiar with immigration practices, but she said, probably not. That was good enough. He came back to me, shook my hand, he gave me $10. He said, go buy lunch. I said, dude, I gave him back the money. I said, you go buy lunch for your wife and wait for your freaking green card. I saved him a 2-year nightmare. Okay. And he wouldn't take the money from, I tried to give him back his $10. He said, I can't take it. I said, okay. So, well, thanks for the money. And I went ahead and I bought a Mexican burrito because I was flying to Bogotá. But man, don't leave America once you get here until you get a 10-year green card. Then you can go on vacation. Let me see. Jacob. Miguel, follow Diego's advice. Miguel, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to save you guys massive headaches financially. I saved that guy a massive, massive headache. He would have flown to Peru with his wife, and then she wouldn't have been able to come back. He'd be crying in his cornflakes for the next 2 years. Jacob, living versus being out for 1 week, 2 weeks. How is that not living? Jacob, when you get married, congratulations. When you get married, tell your new husband for the next until he gets his 10-year green card, stay in America. Okay. Let me see here. You totally understand. If you like I said, it took a month. Jacob, things change. Okay. Let's go this route. Biden's the president right now. Immigration is not so difficult. What if Trump becomes president in November of next year, and he gets sworn in January? What's the first thing he's going to do? He's going to secure the borders. He's going to start deporting everybody who's in a country illegally, and he's going to make it harder to get a K-1 visa. My opinion. Okay. Now, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I can't stand either one of those people's parties. I can't stand them. But I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up for 2025. So you said your husband wants to go back in 2025 to the Philippines for a vacation. Okay. Trump could be in the White House. What if Trump signs an executive order that says if you're on a 2-year green card, you can't come back to the U.S. if you left? It could happen. I'm not saying it will, but it could. You got to plan forward in time, man. Let me see. Miguel, that guy had to have been a troll, Diego. Which guy? I don't know which guy you're talking about. But, you're right. Sometimes people come on here. I don't have a problem with people's opposing opinions to what I say. I'm a First Amendment guy. If you're a beneficiary living outside of the United States, Google First Amendment. Okay, freedom of speech, freedom to petition your government, freedom of religion. You can be whoever you want in America. And I don't have a problem with an opposing opinion. If you don't agree with me, like Jacob, well, you said this, you said that, no problem. But if you post something on this channel that's totally going to destroy somebody's future, you're out of here. Jacob, when it comes to government, the words continuously live mean you live there. You have a home there. You didn't live outside the United States for a while. Then you came back. Okay, I wouldn't say that. I live in the Philippines. I live my residence in Colorado. Jacob, you're an American citizen. I'm an American citizen. I've lived in Colombia for about almost 2 years, 5 months, 11 months, 3 months, 5 weeks. When I go back to the United States, the immigration officer, the Border Patrol looks at my passport. It says United States citizen. He says, welcome back home, Diego. Where have you been? I was in Colombia for 5 months with my beautiful Okay. Well, how's the food? It was great. I'm an American, man. I can go anywhere in the world, anytime I want, and live there for as long as I want. As long as the immigration of that country allows me to. I respect the immigration laws of other countries. I don't just try to be illegal somewhere. You're an American citizen, Jacob. You can go live in the Philippines for a year if you want, then go back home. You're not going to time out. You are U.S. Green card holders time out. They're not Americans. Jacob, so away with this topic because I'm going crazy with that. So I see access issued. That means it's already heading out, right? That's right, Jacob. It's on the way, issued. We're waiting for issued also. Karina, I looked in the SEAC this morning, and I said, okay, Karina, the embassy yesterday, while we were having our celebrationary dinner, accepted your police certificate from Interpol. They accepted it, and we're just waiting on issued now. We're waiting for issued, which means that we go get our passport. Then we have a yard sale and we give everything away. And I got to say goodbye to my landlord here. He's a great guy. He's a great landlord in our apartment. Good guy, very good person, good Colombian capitalist. He owns all these businesses in Bogotá. He owns all these apartment complexes. He's like the Donald Trump of Bogotá. Okay. Let me see here. So Jacob, we're glad that you're going to get your visa done. That instance way different, not having either AP or advanced parole, green card. Okay. Let me say this. When you get your 2-year green card, okay, it's probationary. Stay here in America till you get your 10-year green card, then go see everybody. Let me see here. Jacob, relax, man. Miguel, Karina, the documents, the political the police documents are apostille. No, don't have to. In español.
No,
To respond
no
in
es necesario.
Okay. You don't have to apostille any documents. No. I understand for the exterior, for the Republic of the country. No, you don't have to. Francois, hope my fiance comes before 2025. Francois, you're going to be done and over with by 2025. Okay. Miguel, the guy about having one evidence for the green card. Yeah, he was a troll. Yeah, he was probably a troll, whatever he was. I gave him 3 opportunities not to put out bad information. I didn't want to block him because I don't like to do that, guys. But if if somebody comes on here and starts insulting you, our beautiful friends around the world, they're blocked. Insults I don't put up with. First Amendment, yeah, if you want to insult somebody, go somewhere else, but not here. And if you put out bad information that's going to hurt somebody and get them a denial or a rejection or a problem, you're out of here. So I booted him off. I fired him. How do you track it? So when you know to go pick it up, you should get an email. Okay, Denise, so you recommend not to even leave the country on vacation for 2 weeks? I do. I don't recommend you leave. I heard you say that even if you go and come back, the more you stay away, the chances of an extension at the 10-year mark. If you leave the country on a 2-year green card for a vacation, that's going to come up at the U.S. citizenship interview. Okay. When you come to the United States on a 2-year green card, it's probationary. The U.S. government's expecting you to live in the United States and not to go anywhere, even if it's a vacation, unless it's a medical emergency or a family member passes away. That's different. That gets a waiver. But when you go for U.S. citizenship, immigration is going to say, have you lived continuously in the United States of America since the day your green card was issued to you? You have to answer, no, I went on vacation for 2 weeks, and I went over here for 3 weeks. Then I took a month to go see mom because she missed me. The immigration officer is going to write that down at the end, at the visa, at the interview for your citizenship. That's not, the immigration officer could be a bad person, could be a good person. Karina got a real non-friendly immigration officer at her visa interview. He was unfriendly. He was a total whatever you want to say. But Karina is a tax accountant, and she's strong and she's very stoic. And she's like, what else you got? He didn't face her in a second. He tried to make her angry. She smiled. He tried to get her, irritated. She smiled. And then because he couldn't get her angry, when he started checking the boxes on her form to get her Interpol certificate, he checked the wrong box. He checked the SIAC box. Lucky for Karina, I'm here in Colombia. And I looked at the letter. I said, he checked the wrong box. This guy was either he doesn't know what he's doing, or you made him angry. She goes, oh yeah, I made him angry. He couldn't. Yeah, it was very early in the morning. He hadn't had his fried eggs yet. So I had to go ahead and fix that. Denise, I strongly recommend you don't leave the country on a 2-year green card or advanced parole. Wait till you get the 10-year green card. It's not very long. It's like 21 months you got to wait. You've waited that long for the green card. You've been waiting this long just to get to the approval, right? And get the green card in the interview. Hang in there, Denise. I'm going to keep you on the right path and get you through this. Miguel, why don't embassies just hand you your passport with the visa right there and then after they approve you at the interview? Well, they have to put it up, they have to emboss the visa biometrically into the passport. Okay, so you open up your passport, you go to the visa stamp pages. They have to emboss it biometrically, which requires it's a security process that I don't want to get into. Okay, I kind of understand the process, but I don't want to get into it here on this channel. But for security reasons, they have to emboss it into the passport to prevent fraud. Okay, that's the reason they don't do that. 40 years ago, 30 years ago, when you applied for a K1 visa, they took your passport, they got a rubber stamp, they stamped it, signed it, gave you back your passport, you left the embassy and got on a plane. Not anymore. After 9/11, after the World Trade Center was hit, everything changed. David Vasquez, hi Diego and Karina. My Venezuelan mom successfully completed her medical exam. I knew she would. And an appointment. You had a hiccup with the DS-260 confirmation page. Tomorrow is her embassy appointment. Yeah, they had a hiccup with Karina's DS-160. She went to the biometrics and they called up her DS-160 and the guy started putting the information in. He put her, now Venezuelans, Colombians, they got 4 names. Mom's name, second name, dad's name, mother's name. Okay, it's like 4 names. Mom, second, there's the first name, the second name, mom's name, and dad's name. Well, he put the names in back to front. So when he printed the biometrics out, the names were wrong. He went, I made a mistake. I got to fix the biometrics. It's like, I'm like, dude, I wasn't there. Karina's like, hey, relax, man, fix it. So he fixed the DS-160. So we had a hiccup on the DS-160, but Karina's like, she's like whistling the Jeopardy theme. Fix it, dude. And he fixed it. So don't worry about the hiccup. Tomorrow is her embassy appointment. Very good. Muy suerte. David, we're very happy. We're very proud that you're helping your mom get out of Venezuela and get to freedom in the United States via Colombia. We're very proud of your efforts to do that. Good job. She will have a blast in the United States. She can go eat steak. She knows when she turns on the internet, it's going to work. Jacob, Diego, you are taking this way into the extreme like we'd have to leave 50 times in 2 years. You can if you want. Here's my advice on a 2-year green card. Once you get to the United States, stay here until you get your 10-year green card. Then go see your mom and your sisters and your brothers and your cousins. Miguel, Karina outwitted the consul officer. Yeah, she outwitted him. Yeah, tú muy fuerte en cita en baja. Karina's like this. There were 2 people. There was 2 consular officers. The first one, bien amable or no? The first one was kind of okay, but the second one was like was a jerk. They were trying to, because she's from Venezuela, from a communist country. They were trying to make sure, that whatever. And she's like, look, I denounced that Maduro guy. I can't stand that communist whatever. She denounced him. And then one of her family members got shot in the head. Okay? She got out of Venezuela and got to Colombia. And the Interpol police certificate basically was just making sure that she didn't live in Brazil, that she didn't live in Chile, she lived in Venezuela, and she lived in Colombia. That's all they were checking on. Jacob, me and Denise are saying like a few weeks out of 2 years. If you leave the country on a 2-year green card for 2 weeks, you can do that with advanced parole. You can do it, but it could affect. I'm not saying it will, but it could affect U.S. citizenship when it comes to the interview because you left the country. The United States government wants to see continuous residency. Continuous residency means you don't leave and go on vacation. It means you live here. You don't go anywhere. I'm just trying to help you guys, okay? I'm not telling you not to go on vacation. I'm not telling you that. But if you do, be ready for extra interrogations at the citizenship level. You need to be thinking 3 years down the road, not 2 weeks for the next vacation to the Philippines. Where are you going to be in 3 years? Where's Karina going to be in 3 years from the issue date of her green card, her 2-year green card? Where's she going to be? She's going to be in front of an immigration officer getting citizenship. Then she gets an American passport. Then what? We don't have to worry about nothing. No more advanced parole. No more worrying about DS-160s, I-134s, I-865s. None of that. Let me see. If you want to go on vacation, Jacob or Denise, go ahead. You can. I don't recommend it. Jason, does the DS-160 confirmation page have to be in color print? I would, if you can. Miguel, it doesn't have to, but I recommend it. Now your passport, if you have to, also you got to have, when you bring a copy of your passport to the embassy interview, U.S. citizen, that has to be in color and blown up nice and big. Because I remember Pete B, the Mountain Dew, Pete B kept us in Mountain Dew for like 6 months, 9 months. Kept me in Mountain Dew. You can't get Mountain Dew in Colombia. Pete B went to his visa interview, and his passport photo was this big. So he got a 221G saying, we can't see your passport, Pete. You're a U.S. citizen, but we can't read it. So he had to go get it blown up like this big and then send it to his beneficiary in Manila. And within 3 days, he got his visa. He got out of the 221G and got his visa approved. So you got to pay attention to details in this K-1 visa process. Attention to details means color pictures for passports blown up, driver's license, U.S. citizen. When you apply for your green card, to prove residency, blow up your driver's license this big so the immigration officer can read it. In color. Jason, yes, print it in color, Jason. Miguel, where do you pick up the passport with the visa from, Diego? Well, when I paid the visa fee and scheduled the interview, I got 3 emails. One saying the MERV receipt saying I paid the visa fee. The second email said this is where your biometrics is going to be, not mine, Karina's. And the third email said this is the address where you will pick up the passport once the visa's been embossed into it. So I have the address back there in the bedroom in a little file telling Karina, I'll give it to her. She knows where it is. She'll go pick up her passport probably in the next few days. Let me see. Jacob, the reason why Americans have the most unused vacation days in the world is because we're working all the time. We're always working, right? We're making money. We're capitalists, right? We're chasing the American dream, right? We want to upgrade from a Chevy Malibu to a Mercedes SL 500. So you got to work to do that, right? I'm kidding. Francois, there's so much to see in the United States. There is. The United States is a massive place. We want to see it. If it wasn't required to meet my fiance before filing, I wouldn't step foot outside the U.S. I mean, I have to agree with you, but I like to travel too. I was in the United States Navy for 20 years. I've been around the world twice. I never got to visit the Philippines or Australia, but that's in the future. Let me see here. Miguel, is the DS-160 photo just the same photo you take to the interview? You got to upload a passport photo for the DS-160. Karina went to the passport office in Bogotá. The passport office in Bogotá, the company, whatever the private company, emailed me the photos, and then I uploaded it for the visa interview. I think it's like 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and it came up on the DS-160. So yeah, you got to get the photos uploaded with the DS-160. David, thank you. What can you say about documents to bring and questions they will ask? I'm worried they will ask her about my dad. He immigrated to Spain, separated, but they never got divorced. Well, so she's still married to your dad, and he's in Spain. If the question comes up, where's your mom's, where's your husband? Well, he lives in Spain. We're separated. Okay? That's all you got to say. But I doubt very much that question is going to come up. Your mom is relocating from Venezuela to the United States via Colombia. And the questions that she's going to get are, why do you want to live in the United States? Why do you want to live there? Well, I like lights. I like food. I like to have water when it runs. It's hot and cold. I don't like to ride a bus with a paramilitary Venezuelan police thug jumping on the bus every 10 miles with an AK-47 stuck in my chest, asking for a tax. Right? Ask Karina about that. She was riding the bus, okay, in Venezuela years ago, and this gets on the bus, sticks an AK in her, and says, "I want you to pay your tax." She told him to stick it. She said, "Oh, by the way, your safety catch is on the gun. You got no bullets in the magazine. Get off the bus. Have a nice day." And he was about, just a young kid working for the communist government. She stuck her finger right in his chest and said, "Get out of my face. And no, you can't have my toothpaste." He wanted toothpaste as a tax. She stuck her finger in his chest and said, "By the way, your safety catch is on the gun. There's no bullets in the magazine, and your magazine's not inserted properly in your AK." And he went, "Oh, okay." And he left with his tail between his legs, and everybody on the bus did a round of applause for Karina, because she don't put up with any crap. And then she got out of, that was in 2018. That's when she left Venezuela. She'd had enough. She came to Colombia. She'd had enough then. She said, "I'm done with this place." Let's see. So David, don't worry. Your mom's going to be just fine. They're not going to be very intrusive on her. Okay. She's 70 years old, right? Isn't your mom 70 years old? They're not going to be intrusive on her. It's going to be a cakewalk. She's going to be in and out of there, and then go get her. Well, you said you can't travel to Colombia. Get your mom to the United States. Meet her at the airport. Denise, my beneficiary will only travel to his country in emergencies. He can do that. Everything's fine. Immigration will not have a problem with that at all. And after everything we've been through, there's little sense in taking such a risk. Denise, you're right. It's not worth it. Not to mention that it is very expensive. Yes. Karina and I have been waiting 2 years for this week to happen. 2 years, this close to 2 years. When Karina and I get married, we're not going to be separated from anywhere. We're at the hip. We're joined at the hip. Our hearts are like this. They're connected, okay? Karina has a dream at night. I'm having the same dream. And then we wake up in the morning. She tells me about our dream. And I'm like, yeah, I had the same dream. How weird is that? We were on the Transmillennium. We're on the bus. And she's thinking about her friend, Wendy. And I said, hey, we need to go see Wendy. She goes, I was just thinking about that. When Karina and I get married and we are in the United States of America, in 4 years from now, 5 years max, we'll come back to Colombia for 2 weeks on vacation. Karina will have her American passport in her hand, and we will have absolutely no fear of any immigration problems. 6, can you tell us more about the biometrics? Yes, biometrics is fingerprints and photo of the face. The camera is going to take a picture of every point on your face, and it's going to get uploaded into a State Department computer. So then when you enter the United States of America and your passport gets scanned, your face, you take a picture right at the airport, you get a picture taken, and they ask you, there's a little sign over here that says, do you want to have your picture taken? That applies only to American citizens. Only to American citizens. American citizens are protected under the 4th Amendment of the Constitution. They don't have to get their picture taken if they don't want to. They can do it other means of security. But foreign nationals have 0 constitutional protections when they first arrive in the USA. So you get your picture taken, and that's a biometric picture, and it identifies you exactly who you are. When you go to biometrics interview, you bring your passport and your DS-160 confirmation page, or if it's a spousal visa, your DS-260, okay? take the DS-160 or 260, slide it in the biographic page of your passport, and have it ready for the biographics interview officer. He'll open it up, or she, process your biometrics, and you're done. It takes about 10 minutes, 8 minutes. Francois, I'd like to travel too, but going to Abu Dhabi was like 21 hours. It's a long way. My dad lives in Thailand. He lives in Chiang Mai. I'd have to fly from Pensacola to New York to Singapore to Bangkok to Chiang Mai to go visit my dad. I'm not going to do that. My backside is sore after an hour and a half sitting here doing a live stream. So I'm not flying to Thailand. So I understand Francois. And I would love to go to Morocco someday. Yeah. When he's an American citizen, you've been married for several years, he's a US citizen, go take a trip to Morocco on vacation. Jacob, I've seen a lot of other countries and the experiences is way different than Colorado to Wyoming or Florida. The culture changes everything. Yeah, Florida during COVID, Florida didn't shut down. California shut down. I mean, you couldn't even go to the gym in California. You couldn't even go to a church in California, which was a First Amendment violation. In Florida, I lived in Florida during COVID. I didn't even realize there was anything going on. I went to the gym. I went to church. I went to Walmart. I went to Publix. Nothing was closed. That's the difference between California and Florida. I don't know about Colorado. I don't know what it was like there during COVID. I just know in Florida, nothing changed. And our economy kept taking off. The economy of California went down the toilet. And everybody left. You know, I mean, who left California during COVID and after COVID? Elon Musk, some really heavy hitters, some real rich people. They said, I'm out of here. They moved to Texas, they moved to Florida, etc. But anyway, Wyoming's a beautiful state. Florida is hot. Hot. Okay. Colorado's a beautiful place. I mean, I'm not bashing Colorado. I love the people. You just got to change your government. Miguel, it would take longer to have the passport shipped to another city versus picking it up from the same city. Is that correct? That's right. You're right. Jason, I haven't received the email from the embassy for the interview yet, but I submitted the DS-160. Hope that will be okay. Okay, if you submitted the DS-160, Jason, you should have got there should be a number on that DS-160 page. Look for that number because you're going to need that with the case number to schedule the visa interview. And now Tokyo the cat wants to go and play out. Can you hear him? He wants to go play. I'm going to log off now, guys. Denise, hold on. Denise is going to get the last word. But Jason said, yeah, Jason, you haven't received the email from the embassy for the interview yet. Okay. Send an inquiry to the embassy and ask them for the packet 3 packet 4 email. Denise, Jefferson Diego, when you get back to the States, can you do a quick video on getting his elderly mom here? Would I be the sponsor? Okay, yeah, because Denise, I want to bring Karina's mom to the United States. I got this big house, okay, and I've been living in it by myself for years and years and years. And Karina's going to take charge of the house. It's going to go from a casa to a hogar. Karina, take care of that cat, please. Tokyo's going crazy. He wants to go play. So I'm going to get Karina, and I'm going to get married. And once Karina becomes a U.S. citizen, I'm going to help her sponsor her mom to get here to the United States from Venezuela. Okay, just like David got his mom out of Venezuela to Colombia to the United States, I'm going to do the same thing for Karina's mom, but we're going to use Karina's name because I'm on my second K1 visa, right? Immigration have got me posted for like 4 sponsors already. So immigration's not going to let me sponsor anybody again. This is it. But when Karina's an American, I'm going to help. I'll do the paperwork and then put Karina's name on it, and we're going to petition her mom, and she can come live with us. Okay, she can come live with us, and Karina's got her mom, and she's happy. With that said, I'm going to log off. Thank you guys so much for the super chat, Denise and everybody, Miss Betty, and then man, I'm trying to remember everybody's name.
Denise,
And Denise,
Entertainment.
Miss Entertainment, and who else sent us a super chat? Karina's brain is bulk and ultra primero.
Denise.
So Denise, and Miss Betty. Thank you for the super chat. And when I get back to the United States, I will make a video on how to bring an elderly mom here. I will do that for you, Denise. And yes, Denise, you would be the sponsor. Yes, or your husband once he's a U.S. citizen. Flavia, Edward, Tom, huh? Sharon, Denise, and Miss Betty. Thank you for your super chat, Sharon Pasecki. You can be the sponsor, Denise, but it's up to you. Edward, my case number was in July 18th. Up to now, no answer. July 18th, you need to get your U.S. Senator calling and helping you. Get your senator to help you. Slavia Cintron. Hi, Diego. I'm from Florida. Okay. My fiance is from Kenya. Whoa, nice. NOA 1 was November 3rd, 2022. NOA 2 was October 19th. K1 FTP, that's the welcome letter, guys, was November 22nd. I'm not sure what to do next because I checked the SEAC website and its status shows ready. Okay. Flavia, what you're going to do now is you are going to click on that K1. What you're going to do now is you're going to print the K1 FTP letter, print 2 of those, send one to your sponsor, and then you're going to email the embassy in Nairobi, Kenya, and check in with them. Check in with the embassy in Nairobi, Kenya. They will send you directions on what to do. You can now start your process to get your visa in the pipeline. Get it started. And thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Miss Betty, for the super chats. Beto Trejo, hi, Diego. When is your time frame getting back from Bogotá? Coming back from Bogotá. First week of January is my best guess right now. And then we're going to get married on the beach. See you guys. What day is it today? ¿Qué día is Mercoles? Today's Wednesday. We will see you on Saturday. Okay? Thanks, everybody.
Gracias.
We hope you learned something new today from this live stream. And Jacob Myers, relax. You can just relax, okay?